Warning. The language used on The Real Rush may be offensive to some viewers. Don't say I didn't fucking warn you.
Because The Real Rush, it's force, man. It's force. It's not one to be reckoned with. And it's not something that you should be scared of either.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, don't be scared. Bang your head to the open riff.
Shut up and sit down.
Look.
Jump the fuck out. Ugh.
I don't know about remaking Enemy Mine. And no, that's not a rumor that I heard or some shit, because if I even heard a rumor that I'd be flipping out right now, because that's one thing you don't do. That's one of the movies that should not be remade. Enemy Mine is all of a classic of its own. Yet I digress. But I could totally see, like, if they wanted to do like a, say, stage play adaptation of Enemy Mine, I'd be down for playing Louis Gossett Jr.'s character. Fuck yeah. I'll go all and shit like that in a second, y'all. You know why? 'Cause I'm feeling fine. Yeah. Episode 99. What? One more time. I'm feeling fine. Episode 99. Folks, let me tell you what's happening, y'all. It's your man, John Dub. Welcome back. I always get that part mixed up. I got to say welcome back to what is known as The Real Rush before your very eyes for the 99th time. Hence, welcome to episode 99, baby, of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. This is it's the final countdown. Obviously, this is the last episode on the way to episode 100. The Benjamin episode, coming next weekend. I even spit a little bit, the Benjamin episode coming next weekend. It's gonna be a real rush. Holy shit. Wow, I made my own shit sound really corny right there. Yet I digress. But not only is this the last episode, obviously, on the way to episode 100, but this is the last, obviously, episode of the forever of the double-digit episodes. We had the first 9 single-digit episodes, and then the double digits, and now here we go into the triple digits. Now can we make it to the fucking quadruple digits? I don't know about all that. 1,000 episodes? That is some crazy shit. I would have to make some crazy deal or some shit like that to go down. Anywho, so, hope everybody watching, or, just in general, even if you're not watching, just hearing in the background, or just hearing via word of somebody who's watching. Is everybody staying as safe and healthy as you could possibly be? And if you ain't as safe and healthy as you could possibly be, hopefully this episode is finally on the mends to what may ever ail you at this time, because it sure the hell is to me. Shit, you know why? Because I don't know how I was looking, like, actually, no, we do know how I was looking generally nationwide here. Because officially, as of this weekend, this coming weekend, not this weekend, it ain't even a weekend by the time you're viewing this episode right here, right now, filming this shit on Sunday evening instead of Sunday morning. Yeah, anywho, so fuck it. Theaters are reopening. Yeah. Officially announced as a couple days ago. Like, it looks like it's set in stone that AMC is moving forth, offering. Well, obviously, okay. So they did set a date. We've been stating for the last couple episodes that it was going to be mid to late August for AMC showing up. It's reopening the theaters. Let me get my brain back together. Thanks to the peeps, by the way, who posted the info about AMC's reopening on my Facebook wall. So if you're watching it, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know who usually is. Anywho, so their first day of reopening for most of their theaters is this Thursday, August 20th. That includes the local Rush, included on the Rush circuit. AMC Potomac Mills. We ain't been there in some time. As a matter of fact, we ain't been to AMC Potomac Mills. If I'm recollecting my Rush history correctly here, we haven't been to AMC Potomac Mills since Bumblebee, which was end of 2018. Yeah, so we went a whole year without going to Pop Mills AMC. What's up with that shit? And so many episodes ago, however long ago the review of we did review Bumblebee. That was one of the early episodes actually of the Real Rush. Yeah, I digress. So AMC is offering 15-cent tickets on their first day. I believe that this is, check the website for full details. I believe that this is just for their classic movies that they're showing. I don't know if it's for their newer titles. So, okay, so let me break it down here. They are showing some new shit. Yes. So far, as like Pop Mills goes, even though they're stated as reopening this coming Thursday, they're only showing showings as of this coming Saturday, 8/22 and beyond. Nothing earlier than that yet. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if they're doing something like similar to Cinemark, where they're having like people can book like their own private screenings or whatnot. I'm not sure about that. So check the website of AMC on that one. But yes, as I was stating a couple moments ago, that they are coming back with not only some classics for your ass, and some recent, I guess you could say classics, some comeback classics, as Cinemark is calling them, and everybody got their own like promo thing going on with like the classic joint. But they got some new titles thrown into the mix here too. We gonna get to them shits at the end of this episode, after today's episode, tonight's episodes, whenever you're watching this shit here. Speaking of Cinemark Fairfax Kona, also on the Rush circuit. Glad to report that they officially reopened as of this past Thursday, August 14th, with some choice classics and a few titles that were still playing in theaters when theaters first went into cryostasis to begin with back in March. Regal reopening most of their theaters starting this Friday, August 21st, including Rush circuited Regal Virginia Gateway, baby. They're also sporting some new titles alongside some of their classic lineups, which are offering for $5. I'm not sure if $5 is going to go for their new titles as well, but I did notice that my Crown Club status was reactivated, as it had been suspended for everybody throughout the duration of the pandemic while everything was on lockdown pretty much, since all theaters were, you couldn't go to them. So my shit has been reactivated. So yeah, Even if it ain't $5, I'm gonna be hitting up them crowd club tickets that are limited shit. Cause you know that your man John Dub is the man. Ugh, what y'all think that your man's entrance theme should be heading back to the theater here in a couple days? Because that is what the fuck is about to happen. Hashtag, I still call it Hoyts, my theater, hometown, homed to the Rush Circuit. Hoyts, aka Regal Nassus. They're set to reopen on Thursday, September 3rd, just in time for Tenet. So, prime place to see that shit up in IMAX, because that theater has a fucking amazing IMAX screen, man. And big ass theater too. It's easy to socially distance yourself up in the Hoyts IMAX theater. Yeah. Angelica looks set to reopen on Friday, August 28th. I wish I could do physical, actually make anime exclamation points come out of my head. I think I could do that in post. One more for post me hates me, by the way, because I'm the one that's got to deal with all this shit, but I want to do one more. Yeah. If you know, you know by this point. No word yet on Cinema Arts or Airbus. Also Rush Circuit Theaters, well-known Rush Circuit Theaters. Highly visited Rush Circuit Theaters. All these are highly visited Rush Circuit Theaters. We're going to be getting down to something about that at the end of tonight's episode as well. But the Udvar Hazy Air and Space Museum has reopened. Timed entry. So, I don't know if they're going to open the Airbus in time for Tenet as well on Labor Day. That's another theater where you can easily socially distance yourself from everybody else. I'll be up in there all masked up. Shit. If theaters are open, y'all, and we can be safe about it, I don't give a damn if I got to rock an Outbreak suit. Dustin Hoffman, Rene Russo, Cuba Gooding Jr. I was going to say Kevin Spacey, and I didn't redact his name because of all the shit that he done did. I redacted his name because he didn't fucking make it through Outbreak. His suit got fucked up. So we ain't gonna be, it's because of that movie that we know what to do when wearing an Outbreak suit. But I don't give a damn if I gotta rock one of those. And hearing from what they got going on with the health and safety guidelines, I'm all for that shit. However, a majority of the peeps that I polled online a couple days ago when I asked, are you ready to go back to theaters, when I posted the opening dates of 2 of the Rush Circuit Regal theaters, a majority of them said that they are not ready to return to theaters. So what say you, the viewer? Are you ready to return? Are you not ready to return? If so, what are you pumped to return for? What movie would it take for you to actually, I don't know if you can accurately answer. Don't answer that question. That one we will redact there. But what's your comfortability level? Because yeah, let us know. I can't wait to see what's going on. Plus, I mean, why not get to theaters early? Not only see what they're like, but if you get there early, less chance of more people having been in the fucking theater, man. So, something to bake your noodle on, but I'll let you boy. That's our big news of episode 99 to take up the news part. So let's go ahead and get on down to the 6, yes, count them, 6 movies that your man has reviewed for y'all for this week's episode's Real Rush Ticket. I think at the end of last week's episode, we stated we were going to have 2. Is that what I stated? Where the fuck is...
There's downwards.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. Anyhow, so either that, or I just can't read my own handwriting. 6 movies. That's in addition to the 2 that I know I stated last week, because the first one that we gonna kick things off here with on this episode's Real Rush Ticket is one of the 2 movies that I stated that we was gonna have reviewed here for y'all on this week's episode's Real Rush Ticket. And the name of that movie is Project Power. Project Power. Say it with me now. Project Power. You climb the tower. It's the new superhero action sci-fi original from Netflix. I don't mean that it's just like Netflix original, but I mean like original. Like this ain't based off of no shit as far as I know. Or yeah, this is just somebody wrote this shit and it's first of its kind. So boom, original shit. You look for original shit, here it is. This joint is starring Jamie Foxx, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, JGL baby, and Dominique Fishback as respectively an ex-soldier, a cop, and a teenage drug dealer who are all in New Orleans and all searching for the source behind a street drug that gives the user superpowers temporarily. 5 minutes. So it's like ecstasy, but with superpowers, right? But only for 5 minutes. So, I mean, yeah, that's just the way that I equated it in my head. Having dabbled in some accent, might I? Yet I digress. The reaction of the drug, however, being user variable. Some it brings out the good powers in. So other people it brings out the bad powers in, and other people OD on shit via very gruesome deaths. Or fashion. What? Who knows? Who said that anybody died after ODing on it? Nah. Because that may or may not be true. Think of it like ecstasy, the drug, meets X-Men. Ecstasy Men. Now, would they get any fucking crime fighting done? Or would they just be too busy just like, look at my skin all day? Wolverine's all like, look at what I can do with my hands. And shit like that. All fucking night. Just raving. Just this big X-Men rave. Up at Professor X's crib, son. The school for the gifted. Yet I digress. So, yeah, Ecstasy Man. I dug Project Power, man. I found it to be, again, not only original, but imaginative as well. Much like movies of the sort that, I mean, this reminded me of a lot of movies that we grew up, if you're from my era, from like the 80s and shit, that we grew up watching and loving from our childhood, that we still look back and can still watch in this day, and not only say, regardless of it, whether or not it aged well, you look back and say, you know what, I still fucking like that movie and shit. This is a movie just like that shit. Obviously, however, just matured for our R-rated tastes. And speaking of the R rating, don't let the cast and the premise of this joint fool you at first glance. This death ain't for the kiddies, but perhaps for the preteens and up. I wouldn't rule out from that age range. I was actually watching this shit earlier than that, but I turned out alright. Yeah. Anywho, Fox, I mean, he's still holding it down up in the joint. You know Fox still gonna hold it down no matter what. But he's up in the joint looking like he's still been rocking the same shit that he's been rocking for like the last 3 years. However, whatever movies he's been in the last like 3 to 4 years and shit. But it's all good because that's like Fox's style and shit. But overall, Project Power, peep it, is good fun action, y'all. Netflix, exclusive. And before we move on to the next movie on this week's ticket, when I want to go right out here on the insanely expensive Rush pad, 9 million, when I want to go right out the title of Project, for some reason, I don't know why. Actually, I don't know why, but it just came out, and I took a picture of it upon writing it, and instead of writing the word project, I wrote porn. I don't know if the original picture has it or not, but I've since added ha 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 because I was laughing really hard upon adding the word porn. And it is still kind of fucking funny. Porn. How you make me laugh and yet sometimes make me cry. Speaking of which, next up on this episode's Real Rush Ticket, how about some Disney shit, y'all? The new Disney Plus joint. It's called Magic Camp. Magic Camp. This is, you know what? Show last week's clip. And we'll have Magic Camp. This is my kissing booth. Oh yay. Can't wait to check that shit out. Or it could be good. I don't know. I tend to be surprised sometimes on shit like that. Said the same thing about Desperados a couple weeks back. Right? Yeah. Going into a movie like this, like, yay! Can't wait to fucking watch Magic Camp. Even if it did have Adam Devine in it. It was like, still kind of going into it with that, But before we get, well, was it, or was it, Let's get to that. So Magic Camp. It's a new-ish family comedy, and we'll get to the new-ish part here in a moment. Family comedy starring Adam Devine. So there is a plus right there. As a down-on-his-luck magician who returns to his childhood summer camp alma mater of magic, or for magic, whichever way you want to put it, whichever way it goes, to help lead a ragtag crew of young aspiring magicians to victory at the camp's showcase competition, reigniting his own passion and flame and love for magic in the process, or possibly thereof. So, there you have it. There's plot right there. Not the two woohoo and shit, it's just boom. It's a Disney movie. So from that, and my tone of voice right there, and my hesitance from last week, and from going into this review, I gotta fucking say that it was, the hesitance was all proven completely wrong. Yep. Yet again. My hesitance at a movie like this, and I fucking hate it. I hate it, like, I hate going into movies, and I don't even like saying the word hate, but I just like going into movies, like, with any type of, like, I'm not sure if this, because it's still, like, my own, like, certain genres I'm not really too keen on, what have you, right? So, sorry for my hesitance at such a thing, but yeah, like I said, it completely proves us wrong yet again, and I love it. I do love it, however, being proved wrong at shit like this, because I really enjoyed the hell out of this movie. Now, it'd have been a different thing if I went into it and not only did it suck, but it really sucked. There have been a couple of occasions like that, but this is not one of those. Sure, it is pretty much School of Rock with magic, yet it is still enough distinguishing with its own humor and its own character quirks within to make it its own style of, well, yeah, its own movie. So, boom, it's not a School of Rock ripoff, if that's what you're thinking while watching or after watching this movie. At least, I don't think about that. Let's converse on that if that's one of the things you thought about this. The adult humor in this, it's low-flying enough for it to just go over the head of kiddies but it's gonna hit the parents like dead on. Y'all are gonna laugh out loud at a lot of parts at this joint. I actually found this, and maybe it's because of this that I found this movie to be quite 420 friendly. So, if even if you, I'm not promoting this, but even if you are a parent, if you ain't a parent, you know, you put the kids to bed, you know, you have to, you know, after unwinding for a long day, go ahead and do your thing, boo. I ain't gonna rat you out. You ain't gonna rat nobody. We ain't ratting. We ain't snitches get stitches, bitches. I don't know where that came from, but anywho, yeah. So, Magic Camp. It's 420 friendly like a son bitch. Any doubts of Adam Devine being able to carry a family comedy, or famcom, as I have shortened it here, can be put to rest. Not to mention awesome support from his supporting actors, Jillian Jacobs and Jeffrey Tambor. It's heartwarming enough to possibly jerk some tears at points. It did get me quite a little bit. And it's got a great message of self-acceptance for the kids, that without being too gushy. And I don't think that that's something that's conveyed, not only not enough in films designed for the young peeps, but that is done well enough, if you catch my drift. So yeah, keep doing it. Yeah, overall, Magic Camp, well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. You're getting the Real Rush Golf Clap of the Week, son. This was supposed to be released in theaters back in 2018. That's why I said newish at the beginning of the review. This was supposed to be released in place of, we got Christopher Robin instead. I don't remember if we reviewed that here on YouTube or not, but we definitely saw it as part of the Real Rush. And that was a good joint. But this could have, I do think that this could have, if it came out in theaters, I think a lot of people would have been hesitant at first, the same as myself, but after word of mouth and hearing about it, I think this could have totally held its own theatrically. Supreme shit, man. So, hence, you're getting grade A shit with your Disney Plus subscription, man. And watch it with the fam, son. Watch it with the fam. Booyah. So, Magic Camp. Check that shit out and enjoy, y'all.
Aim that bitch towards the fucking thing. Jump the fuck out.
Hey, guess what? Come here. We got some more stuff on the ticket here. Next up on this episode's Real Rush Ticket is a new joint that I didn't even know about, hadn't heard about, knew nothing of this movie until it dropped on Amazon Prime Video Cinema Friday, sometime Friday, because we watched it real early Saturday morning. And this joint is a perfect late night movie. We're going to get down to why here in a second. This joint is called Spree. Just like the fucking candy. Spree. This is the new dark comedy thriller starring Joe Keery of Stranger Things fame, Steve Harrington, aka, as a rideshare driver and an aspiring social media influencer who turns to murdering his rideshare passengers over live stream in order to garner views and followers for his channel. It sounds bizarre. It sounds twisted. It sounds just bananas, off the wall, fucking whatever other words you could throw at it, or whatever other words you could think of to throw at it, go ahead and throw it at it, and it's gonna stick. And because it's all true. It's all true. Spree. Holy shit. yet, y'all. I mean, I had an idea what I was getting into when I was about to rent this joint the other night, and you kind of got a taste of it from the trailer. But damn, the 3 minute trailer got nothing, or the 2.5 minute trailer, whatever, on this like 93 minute movie, y'all. Got nothing on it. Got absolutely fucking nothing on it. This is dropping at a peak of the time in society when, at least I feel, a lot. At least it just seems, and this is just my opinion here. It seems like a lot. Not saying most, or I could be virgin on most. A lot to most people are concerned about like their social media image or their following and shit like that, and what they gotta do to keep up such a thing. If that means like documenting everything that they do day in, day out, just like wanting attention for doing normal shit, then that seems to be what's going down, man. We ain't gonna go down that wormhole because this episode would be like 2.5 hours. So, if there was ever a time for a movie like this, just to kind of delve into what drives that kind of need or that addiction, and maybe how far people will go into that or for that, then boom. Now, this is the time for this movie. Joe Keery is fucking totally spot on. And he sells it. He sells it, and I'm buying it. I might buy this movie, as a matter of fact. I just rented it the other night, but I just might buy this movie. He totally sells it with his creepy, yet darkly humorous, notification addicted character. Notification addicted. Coin that shit. Right there, son. This is a haunting tale of, once again, the depths that one might go to in order to gain online attention. And to everybody, if you've seen this movie or if you haven't seen this movie, don't just write some shit off like, oh, it's just the movie or some shit like that. Because the message of this movie, I feel, is highly, like HIGH-LEE, highly cautionary. Take that for what it's worth. I loved how it also makes the viewer question once again the drive, the need for, or the importance of, or self-importance for that matter, of social media in people's everyday lives, and how self-documentation has pretty much become second nature at this point. You see, like, what you see on my fucking gram and here, that's pretty much it, son. Everything else, just chilling on that offline shit, man. You got to unplug every once in a while. Like this, doing this every week, that enough for me, man. That enough for me. That's just me talking. Overall, Spree. This is this week's main event. Wait a minute, before we get to why this is this week's main event, I loved how fucking, like, it shows how, first off, if you've seen a movie called Creep, I think that's still on Netflix. It does have that kind of vibe to it. And I loved how it shows how one is almost like driven to like maddening addiction by what some might even call the fairness or unfairness of social media at times. And once again, if you see this, this will click on like, holy shit, this is some crazy shit. This is this week's main event. It tickles, it shocks, it hits you with low blows. Not only is it this week's main event, but obviously it's a must-see if it's this week's main event, y'all, or else I wouldn't have given it this week's Rush main event title. Spree. Rent it, Blu-ray it, fucking, I would go as far to say, like, buy this movie However, means necessary. Obviously, I'm going to promote buying the Blu-ray or 4K if there's a 4K of it. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna be hunting down for this shit. But Spree, check that shit out, y'all. Damn. I should still have that on my, within my 48 run. I should still be within my rental period. I think I'm gonna watch that again. That shit is fucking nuts. Like, this might have like a Natural Born Killers type of vibe to it. Yeah. Yeah. It's some crazy shit. You gotta see it. 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 Next up on this episode's Real Rush Ticket, another new drop. This one we had actually announced a couple weeks ago, and did announce that it was going to drop this weekend, and then completely forgot that the shit was dropping this weekend until it showed back up on our watch list. Said, ooh, thanks for the reminder. Thank you, Prime Video. The name of this joint is called The Silencing. Oh, 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 The Silencing. Oh, 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 The Silencing is a new suspense thriller starring Nikolaj Coster-Waldau and Annabelle Wallace. I don't know if that's how his name is pronounced, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it anyway. They are each, respectively, cast, starring, wow, wake up there, Dub, as a hunter searching for his long-lost daughter and a sheriff. And they team up, of sorts, to catch a serial killer who may or may not be behind the disappearance of the hunter's daughter in the first place. This was catching some, I saw, I don't know if it's been updated since, but I saw this was catching some negative flack. I actually found this to be quite the taut, yet unconventional thriller. I will admit, the trailer for this looked really good, but it did give me a Snowman vibe. Remember the movie The Snowman that came out in 2017 that looked really fucking cool? And then we saw it, and I don't know what happened. Well, I heard there's a story behind that movie, but we won't get into that one. Unfortunately, that was one that we did not review on YouTube. I think I might have reviewed it on my Instagram feed, just hashtag and, J-Dub Champion and hashtag The Real Rush and hashtag The Snowman, and you should find that shit. But if I did that, or you'll at least find the check-in. Yet I digress. Is that movie? Damn. This did not go nearly even close to touching The Snowman. Thank God. And its unconventionalness. And that's one thing that I could definitely take away from it. Because going into it, knew it was going to have that kind of unconventionalness to it. Unconventionality to it, same as Snowman, and that could make or break movies like this. If you throw the viewer too much for a loop in a thriller like this and keep them too many corners, you'll get them lost, and that's not good. This one, however, does a pretty decent job at keeping the viewer guessing and on their toes throughout. This movie is only 95 minutes. It does seem a little long at times, but not too terribly much longer. I see like an hour 40, hour 45 minutes maybe, but not too terribly much longer. But even more important, as I just stated a couple moments ago, it does a good job of keeping the viewer guessing and on their toes without becoming entangled in its own shit, in its own bullshit, like Snowman did. But then again, edits are fucking so important. So important. I know this from, having edited now 99 episodes after this shit. Edits and the way things are edited, insanely important. Yo, The Silencing, it's dark, it's cold, it is prime, pun totally intended, for late night viewing, especially during the summer. Like if your AC's busted or something and you just need something cold to watch, that's one of those movies like The Hateful Eights, like some shit like that. Like if I watch The Hateful Eight or some shit during the winter, or like Wind River or some shit like that, like I'm gonna be real fucking cold. But watching that shit during the summer, like alright. I mean, it's not like a chill movie to watch by any means, but it's just that type of movie. You know what I'm talking about. But overall, The Silencing, peep it. It's def worth the $7 rental fee on your VOD service of preference. Your SOP. Your VODPOF. Video on demand service of preference. VODSOP. Silencer, check it out. Next up on this episode's Real Rush Ticket here, it's a new documentary. This joint is called
Fuck this. God damn it.
The Fight. Not that kind of fight. But it would have been awesome. But I know there's plenty more documentaries about actually fighting motherfuckers and shit. But nah, this is a different type of fight. This is more civil. Pun totally intended again about civil fights in this. This is a new documentary that follows 5 ACLU lawyers and what they've been facing during the Trump administration alone as they battle in 4 separate civil liberty cases. One of the case, or each of the case dealing, one of each case dealing with, hence there's a case dealing with immigration rights. There's another one that's dealing with reproductive rights. Another one voting rights, and another one transgender rights. So those are your 4 cases that's divvied up amongst this documentary. We have ourselves another ovation-worthy documentary on fucking handing out Real Rush golf claps this week like they Skittles and shit. The Fight, y'all. If we had seen this up at Cinema Arts or Angelica or something, yeah, this would have been that joint where we would have definitely given this an ovation after the movie. Goes without saying, this is a timely movie. It's a must-see just for that fucking reason. I probably shouldn't have thrown in a fuck there, but I did it anyway. It's engrossing, it's heartwarming, it's heartbreaking, it's infuriating, enraging, and at times humorous. In-depth look at exactly just a few things that have caused major national stirs over the last couple years, and I don't have to, spell out which specific last couple years we're talking about here. I loved how, despite this being a documentary, it has a flowing film-like narrative to it that's almost Guy Ritchie-like. And that's just got to be seen to be believed. I've never seen a documentary that's been released in such a style before. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, it's got a striking music score behind it, and just the music score alone behind the movie makes me say that this just may be... You know what? There's been so many fucking good documentaries alone this year. And maybe that's because we're catching more video on demand or whatnot. I don't know. But it seems like the documentary market has been more saturated here on the Real Rush here in the last couple months here. But overall, and we're getting to what I was about to get to here in a second. Overall, The Fight, it's a must-see. I'm going to go ahead and name this we got another co-main event here for the Real Rush. This is this week's co-main event along with Spree is The Fight. This joint is a must-see. Add this to this year's, another one of this year's best and most important documentaries, and I think we have ourselves an Oscar nomination worthy best documentary feature on our hands. But we've had, like I said, we've had so many good documentaries this year. I actually gotta get out and do a a best of the first half shit 2000 of 2K20. So perhaps we'll throw that in the episode 100 special next weekend here. But yeah, in the meantime, The Fight, check that joint out. and get your education on and important shit. Just check it out and boom. Converse afterwards. And speaking of the fight, never stop that shit. For real. Last but most certainly not least on this episode's Real Rush Ticket is another newish joint. This joint actually dropped a few weeks ago on Video on Demand. This joint is called Force of Nature. Dun, 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 the force of nature, it's coming for you. Force of nature, you throw your shoe at the force of nature when it gets your hair. Force of nature, get out of here. I can slap a tornado. I can ride a cocaine. Or whatever Matt Hardy's entrance theme said. That's what I'll do. Force of Nature, starring Emile Hirsch, Kate Bosworth, Mel Gibson. Seeing his pictures actually would have sold me on this joint. And David Zayas as respectively a cop, Emile Hirsch, a medic, Kate Bosworth, or her retired cop father, Mel Gibson, and a brutal gang of thieves leader, David Zayas, who the three must battle against in the midst of a powerful hurricane in Puerto Rico. I called it in my Graham check-in the other night, and I quote, Mel Gibson meets the hurricane heist. And that's exactly what this movie is. It's exactly what this movie is. It's exactly what this movie is. And what you think, what you got from that statement right there is exactly what you're going to get out of this movie. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Let's look into why. B-movie disaster action at its finest, much like the Hurricane Heist. However, I think I personally liked the Hurricane Heist just a little bit better. Maybe because I saw the Hurricane Heist in the theater, I'm not sure. But no, I think personally, overall, if I were to pick a movie, I would go with the Hurricane Heist. Now, if the Hurricane Heist had Mel Gibson in it, that'd have been a different story altogether. Emile Hirsch just kind of looks confused throughout the most of the movie. Oh, speaking of it being a fucking B-movie, it's ripe with absurdities. Much like murder in a bank. In a bank. Just headshot. Headshot. In a bank. Broad fucking daylight. The guy walks out of the bank. Gets in the car. Just chilling in the passenger seat. For a good, 10-15 seconds. Before he's finally like, let's roll. Not just wanting to roll out. Nah, that shit, I don't give a damn if it's Puerto Rico, the country, or Puerto Rico Avenue somewhere. That shit is not gonna happen. That shit is not gonna happen. Or being, a couple floors up from some people hearing explosions, or not hearing explosions, but yet some people a couple floors down can hear a 110-pound woman falling off of a ladder. And shit like that. That's not really giving anything away, but just look for these things in the movie here, and you'll enjoy them. But yeah, Emile Hirsch looked confused throughout most of this movie. David Zayas, however, is becoming quite the B-movie villain king. Body cam, Mary J. Blige a couple months ago. Mel Gibson saves the day for this joint with his crotchety old man one-liners. We're finally getting the Mel Gibson that we've been knowing that's been going to be coming ever since he was Martin Riggs back in the day. It's like old Martin Riggs. Get that, and you're going to get some old Martin Riggs in this movie. So overall, it's definitely not a movie to be taken seriously by any means. And from the looks of it, it doesn't take itself seriously at all. So that's a great thing. Disconnect the brain and enjoy the ride for Force of Nature, y'all. Seriously. There's some shit that goes on in this movie that's just this movie is wilding me out, man. So also 420 friendly as well. Force of Nature. Check it out. And that, my friends, is a wrap for episode 99 of The Real Rush right here on YouTube. 99 episodes thus far, y'all. Tune in. Next theater. Next theater? No. Wait a minute. Tune in next weekend, episode 100. When we got a crazy ass ticket laid out here for y'all, and this is all gonna depend on how flowing our movie theater experience, dipping our toes back into that pool. It's gonna be. So wish us luck on that. Wishing everybody else who does venture back out to the theaters next weekend or over the next couple of days, when your local theaters do reopen and whatnot, everybody please be safe in doing what we all getting back to loving, to do what we love to do. You know what I'm saying, damn it. So I'm gonna be safe, but dip your toes. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be up, but we gonna get through this, y'all. So next weekend's ticket is shit. So next weekend, first up, next weekend is SummerSlam weekend. Last year SummerSlam weekend, we called that weekend's episode of the Real Rush Slam, and it was aptly named that because that was the weekend that I set my personal record of how many movies I've seen in one weekend, with 9. Yeah, 9 movies in one weekend. That shit was nuts. So this is contending. The episode 100. Who knew that it was going to be timed just perfectly? It's some other shit going down next week, and we're going to get to that shit there in a second. But I mean, there's not that many movies. I mean, it's not as many movies coming out next weekend, so we're not going to beat that record. But just the fact that it's the weekend that theaters are reopening, it's some crazy shit that shit just happens to be. So knock on the wood of the lucky. Insanely expensive Rush Try 9000. It's just ironic that it'd be going down in time for episode 100. So let's keep our fingers crossed and let's keep ourselves safe as we venture still into the uncertainty here. Anywho, what we got for, at least planned for next week's episode 100 Real Rush ticket is the one and only Ivan. That's a Disney Plus drop. Disney Plus. Then we get to the theater shit. We got Unhinged, Words on Bathroom Walls, Cutthroat City, Tulsa. If I read correctly, a local theater, one of the theaters on the Rush circuit, will be playing The Burnt Orange Heresy, which actually would have been the last movie that we would have seen in the theaters had we gone to the theater, had we been after the Angelica on Friday, March 13th. So we actually might be kicking off our journey back into movie theaters with the very movie that in all likelihood should have ended that shit. So it's like the chain just keeps on going, man. So fingers crossed on that shit. And last but most certainly not least, Tesla. Possibly. I say that with a question mark because even though that's on the schedule, I haven't seen any place that may be playing that. So that's what's going to be going down on Real Rush episode 100. But in addition to that shit, y'all, 2 questions here for y'all, contest wise, if you really even want to think about it. And I'm not even sure, like, if you want to, like, whoever takes the closest guess to this wins. What you'll win, I don't fucking know. Alright, that is yet to be determined. But up to this point, up until, so from the time that I started the Real Rush in January 2017 up until theaters went into cryostasis back in March. In that period, we saw a lot of fucking movies across a good amount of theaters. So I ask you, I've actually haven't done the calculations on this shit yet, so it'll be crazy to me. I kind of have an idea of which way it's going to go, but I don't know. I'm going to ask y'all the same question. Out of all the theaters that I've been to, which theater on the Rush circuit has your man John Dubs seen the most movies at? But I don't want just your guess on which theater I've seen the most movies at. That's too damn easy. Because anybody could throw out one of the like 15 theaters that I've visited over the last almost 4 years now. And that's it. First one to catch that calls it a day. No. That's too easy. We're going to go Price is Right style on this shit. I not only want you to name me the theater, and you know what? Go through the Real Rush feed. It could be any theater that I've been mentioning on here. It could be AMC Potomac Mills. It could be Cinemark Centerville. It could be Cinemark Fairfax Corner. It could be Hoyt's. It could be the Airbus. It could be Angelica. It could be Regal Springfield. It could be the Airbus, if I didn't already say that. It could be Cinema Arts. Any one of them. I don't just want the name of the movie theater. I want your guess as to how many movies I've seen at the theater that you're guessing. Closest one to guess without going over the actual number at that theater wins. So in order to win this, you not only have to guess the correct theater, but you gotta guess. You have to get the closest number of the movies. You have to be the closest in guessing the amount of numbers, the amount of movies, number of movies that I've seen at that theater. Got it? Boom. Theater, number of movies you think I've seen in that theater, person who gets the theater right and gets the closest to the actual number of movies that I've seen at that theater without going over wins. Again, what do you win? I don't know yet. That is yet to be determined. Maybe I'll take you out to dinner at some point, or I don't know, but we'll figure it out. I'll at least give you a shout out here on episode 100, or we'll do like a Zoom call or some shit or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But in the meantime, while we figure that out, don't you want to possibly win some shit? So yeah, here it is, being announced right here. I want to know, what theater do y'all think your man John Dub has seen the most movies at? The name of the theater, the number of the movies that you think I've seen at that theater, and the person who guesses not only the correct theater, but gets the closest to the number of movies that I've actually seen at that theater without going over wins. If you hit the number right on the head, I don't know what I'm about to do at that point. That's some major Price is Right shit, but I'll figure that part out and get back to you as well. But get to guessing, bitches.
Now. Yes.
Last question that I need to post here to y'all. So I posted something fairly emotional. The first Thursday that theaters were closed. Not only was I unable to go, but nobody was able to go. Nobody was working. It was a sad time for everybody. Not only with theaters closed, but just everything shutting down. Then as I was watching things, they were replaying sports and stuff, like classic games and stuff, over the lockdown, until we started getting more original programming back on. And one of the games that they played was the Orioles game, the Baltimore Orioles game, where Cal Ripken broke the streak for games played consecutively. Now, the crazy thing about what got me thinking about this is, what got juicing in my brain is, his streak continued. This happened in September of 1995. However, there was a baseball strike, for those who are uninformed on that fact, during the summer of 94. So there was no baseball that year. So he couldn't play. Yet his streak remained unaffected, because that was beyond his control. So my other question to y'all is, Thursdays consecutive, that's questionable. But should the number of well, actually both of them. Should the number of Thursdays, my consecutive Thursday streak, and the number of movies, the streak that I've seen, the number of movies I've seen continuously in the theater, should those be brought back, seeing as in that the whole lockdown, hey, that was one of those, act of God things, man. You know? Should that come back, or should it be reset? Your thoughts on that as well. So yeah, get back to me on that. In the meantime, coming up this Friday, this is a big ass weekend, like I said, y'all. This Friday, August 21st, 7:30 p.m. Me and my fellow, or excuse me, not me and my fellow, the Bandits got another virtual show coming to y'all. Virtual. It's our third Friday of the month. We still, we working our way back to getting y'all back as an audience here, baby. But for now, it's still virtual. Easy for y'all to attend, and it's free for y'all to attend. Deets on that, and for everything that you want to know and need to know about the Stagecoach Theater Company, not just about the Bandits, but everything that the theater company has to offer. Give us a follow and a like online and on Facebook. StagecoachTC.com. Once again, that is Stagecoach, T as in Tom, C as in Coach.com. And find us on Facebook, Stagecoach Theater Company. We're the ones in Ashburn, Virginia, y'all. Hit that blue thumb, give us a like, come check us out. And check us out this coming Friday. Once again, that is August 21st, 7:30 p.m. You might want to sign in like 10-15 minutes early. Get yourself comfortable in your own homes and whatnot. But keep in mind that we are 18 and up comedy, y'all. We ain't for everybody. But if you looking for some extreme shit to laugh your ass off about, then we for you, baby. Come on out. Actually, you don't gotta come on out. Just check us out from the comfort of your own home, y'all. Bandits, y'all. That's coming Friday. In the meantime, as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any shit like that, feel free to type those on into the comment section of the YouTube page where you're viewing this week's episode right here, right now. To everybody who has subscribed to The Real Rush thus far here on YouTube, thank you for having done so. If you haven't done so, what the hell are you waiting for? You want to be the first to know when your man drops a new episode. You can still spread love these days, ladies and gents, even socially distant love. And when you go to do that, tell a motherfucker about The Real Rush. Let them know that your man John Dub got the most craziest, absurdest, off-the-wall movie review show, because it's not just a movie review show. It ain't your average movie review show on YouTube these days called The Real Rush. And have them give me a check and a like and a subscribe, whatever. Just shout it out, y'all. Shout it to the moon tops and everything. But don't forget that The Real Rush also has replay value. Any of the 400 plus movies that we reviewed so far here, any movie, just think of one. That's a lot of movies. So any movie that you want to know what your man Dub had to say about it and get the good, honest to God review on, all you got to do is go up to the YouTube search bar at the top of the page here, type in quotation marks, the Real Rush, followed by, outside of quotation marks, the name of the movie that you're looking for, and then boom! Instant movie review on demand for you, because your man John Dub and The Real Rush got you covered for life, son! And as always, you can follow your man John Dub on Instagram live for my live movie check-ins and updates as they occur. And you can follow your man at JDubChampion, hashtag The Real Rush. And for The Real Rush, ladies and gents, I am your man John Dub. Thank you once again for tuning in to The Real Rush right here on YouTube. As always, in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, y'all. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another. Enjoy yourselves, chill the hell out. Don't let the weight of the world get you down too much, y'all, because it will do that shit. Don't let it do that shit to you, y'all. Namaste. Have fun, y'all. Love J-Dub. And we'll see you next weekend. Peace. Yeah.
Shut up, bitch. Don't be scared. Chill the fuck out. What the fuck you think you doing, homie? You just gonna run up on a motherfucker and expect nothing to happen? You got your fucking mind? Anybody else want some? Anybody? Doesn't look like it that way. How about down this way? Nope, not even the fucking red vest. Hell no. Because I park my car how I want, where I want. I own this motherfucking town. You ever fucking run up on me like that again, motherfucker? Aye. I got shit to do up in the casino. How you doing, baby?
I must go to Kraftwerk and get to work in the fucking studio.